Hello everyone, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Gourmet. Today we're going to make country fried cube steak. And now country fried cube steak, also known as chicken fried steak, is where you take a tougher cut of meat and you pulverize it up a bit, and then you dredge it in flour, coat it in egg, and then give it another coat with a little bit of flour to finish it off, and then fry it on up in a shallow fry inside of a frying pan. In order to do that, we've got 2 eggs, about a half a cup of hard wheat, and a half a cup of all-purpose flour. Now the hard wheat, the mixture has a half a teaspoon of white pepper inside of it, as well as a tablespoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and then a little bit, half a teaspoon if I hadn't said it already, of salt. What that's going to do is give you your initial coating inside of the dredging between the meat. Now that is going to go into the egg mixture, for which we're going to scramble them up. And then after it gets coated, it goes right over into the all-purpose flour, which, because it's a lighter flour, serves to help make a mildly fluffier batter after it gets through the egg and into the all-purpose flour. That will fry up nice and light, and the heavier hard winter wheat will soak into the meat, allowing it to combine and get a nice crispy batter fused around the outside to make that country fried steak. The first step in the mixture is getting the egg together and homogenized in a light scramble. For country fried steak, you definitely want to mix gently but thoroughly and avoid incorporating too much air into the scrambled egg mixture. After that's mixed up, we're going to take it to the next level. The process to coat the cube steak starts taking the cube steak and dredging it thoroughly, because this is going to be one of the more important steps. In between the meat, as you pulverize it or as you tenderize it, you're going to want to get a lot of the flour, not too much. You're not trying to chunk it up so that it's chock full of it crazy, but you definitely want to let it have a good coating so that it is inside of there, and that during the cooking process, when it mixes with the egg and the outside batter of the all-purpose flour, that it has enough to go on so that it gives you a nice coating and it gives you a nice, not too thick. And now this is where you can adjust the thickness of that coating, is by how much of that you let get in the middle. But by doing so, it'll definitely give you that full country fried steak experience in doing so. Now we've got ourselves a pretty good level of coating at this point. Take it from the other edge, shake it a little bit, a little more. And now what we're going to do is bring it over into the egg on one side, let it sit for just about 10 seconds or so, agitate it around a little bit, take note that the flour is in between the pulverized marks where it's been tenderized, and we flip it over. And you're going to want to make sure that you get the egg in there too, all around. So if you have little areas here around where it's not getting the egg, give it another flip around again. Make sure it gets coated. Go ahead and tilt it to the side if you have to a little bit. If you have to use a deeper bowl, do that too. But you definitely want to get your mixture coated, because that's going to be one of the more important parts in doing so. And after you've got it coated, then you can take it to the end stage where it goes into the all-purpose flour. There. Now we've got it just about coated over. Bring it over one more time so that we got it on all sides. And we'll take a look at it. That looks like it's good to go. We'll pick it up and put it. Let it drip off a little bit of the extra egg. We're not trying to have it too thick. And then put it into the final coating over the egg. And after it gets at that point, you're going to want to have that fire ready, because you can let it sit for a moment or two to help incorporate the flour and the egg, but you don't want it to dry out too much. So have that fire ready, have that pan set with the oil in it and ready to cook, and then you'll be on to the next step.